When I was a child, on my 10th birthday, my mother gave me a present. It was a small little box, nothing too special. As she handed it to me, she told me not to open it for at least 2 months. Now, confused at the time, I asked, well, why? She responded, don't you worry. It will make the gift better. And to make sure that you don't open it, I'm going to bury it in the backyard. Now, me being the naive child that I was, said, okay. So she buried it and marked exactly where it was so I was able to come back to it later. And every morning when I woke up, I would look out of the window and stare at where it was, wondering what it could be. My mother would sometimes catch me staring and would tell me, just be patient. See, I noticed that every morning when I looked, there seemed to be something coming out of the ground where it was. And it was getting bigger and bigger by the day. Days went by, then weeks, and the thing growing out of the ground grew taller. It began to change colors, and eventually, it grew petals. So when the 2 months were up, my mom took me out into the backyard. And where my present was once buried all those weeks ago, now stood one single rose. My mom then looked at me and said, you watched this rose grow. You watched it change in the exact same way that I've watched you grow and how I've watched you change. My gift to you is a reminder to always keep growing. And at that moment, I learned one of the best secrets to life. That whatever change life throws at me, whether it be good or bad, that I will always keep growing. See, the one thing about change that many people aren't ready to accept is that change is inevitable. There is nothing about you that remains the same. There is no one in your life that will be there forever. From the trees that you see to the people that you pass, the life that you live is always moving, changing. And it's naive to think otherwise. See, your life is going to change whether you're ready for it or not. But as unavoidable as change may be, how you react to it is completely up to you. For many people, change has not only become our biggest fear, but it's also become our worst enemy. But what exactly is it about change that we're so desperately afraid of? What do you do when everything you've grown comfortable with is uprooted, and you are now in a space of uncertainty? And with uncertainty comes the unknown. And that is what I think we so desperately fear. Not knowing where life is going to take us, not knowing if we're going to be enough, not knowing if that person is the right one. It's the not knowing. You see, it's the unknown that causes people to pause. It's the unknown that grabs you in the heart and tells you to turn back. It's the unknown that we fear. So because you're so afraid of change, you choose to stay in that toxic relationship. You choose to stay working that boring job. You choose to stay hanging with those negative, unmotivated friends. You choose it. But in reality, I don't think we're scared of what's to come. I think we're scared of what's to go. Because the first thing to go when facing a change is our comfort. And when we are comfortable, we are happy. So it must not be change that we're afraid of. No. We're afraid of not being able to feel that same happiness ever again. But one of the hardest things to learn is that just because something makes you happy doesn't mean that it's good for you. Sometimes we find happiness in the bad. The truth is, sometimes the bad feels good. And believe me, I understand. Because more often than not, I miss how it used to be. I miss the times I spent laughing with old friends. I miss being a child and living without a care in the world. I miss life without responsibility. I miss it all. And I'm sure you do too. Just remember, life doesn't change because we want it to. Life changes because we need it to. See, we need that sense of uncertainty. We need the excitement of a brand new day. See, it's the mystery of exploring something new that makes life a blessing. And there are times when we so desperately want something, and life says no. As much as it hurts at the time, we only ever realize how much we needed that until after the fact. So instead of crying, why me? Well, why not me? Trust that whatever you're going through right now is a blessing wrapped in a curse. Because change is exactly what you make of it. From now on, invite the change. Let it shape you. Use it to live better and better every single day. And like my little rose in the backyard, just keep growing.